Television. We will begin with the headlines. The bodies of 14 South African soldiers killed in the Eastern DRC were repatriated through Rwanda on Friday. 116 Rwandans who had fled living in forests of the Eastern DRC have returned to their homeland. On the international scene, U.S. President Donald Trump says he wants to make the United States the cryptocurrency capital of the world. My name is Olive Nete. Hope you had a happy Friday. Let's kick off the edition. The bodies of 14 South African soldiers killed in the Eastern DRC were repatriated through Rwanda on Friday. These bodies were taken from Goma in the Eastern DRC, a city currently under the control of the M23 rebels. Prince Manzi with the details.
These bodies were brought to the main border crossing between Rwanda and the DRC, known as La Corniche in Rubavu district, Friday noon. These South African soldiers were part of the South African Development Community forces deployed in the DRC under the SAMI DRC mission. Repatriated by the UN mission DRC, these bodies were taken through the Cyanika border between Rwanda and Uganda to Entebbe airport, where they would then be taken back home to South Africa.
14 of our SANDF soldiers to die.
The death of these South African soldiers has sparked disagreements among the country's leaders, raising questions about the presence of 1,500 troops in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo without providing a solution to the security crisis. This week, some of the members of the South Africa's parliament openly stated that the deployment of the country's troops to the DRC was done to protect interest and secure mineral mines in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, which are controlled by influential figures, including President Cyril Ramaphosa. These lawmakers called for the withdrawal of the troops and demanded resignation of the Minister of Defense and the Chief of South African National Defense Force.
My fellow South Africans, this State of the Nation
While delivering the
address
State of the Nation address to the people of South Africa on Thursday, President Cyril Ramaphosa hinted at withdrawing his troops from the DRC. He also expressed support for dialogue initiatives, whether through the Rwanda or Nairobi processes, as a means to resolve the security crisis in the DRC. Information obtained by RBA during a recent visit to Mubambiro indicates that South Africa has 7 military companies stationed in Goma, with some in Mubambiro and others on the outskirts of the Goma airport. This repatriation comes as the heads of state from the East African Community and Southern African Development Community are set to meet in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania on Saturday for a summit aimed at finding a solution to the ongoing conflict that has escalated in Eastern DRC. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Prince Manzi, for a detailed report. Now moving ahead, 116 Rwandans who had been living in the forests of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo have returned, entering Rwanda through the main border connecting the cities of Rubavu and Goma. William Evans has more on this.
These men, women and children are Rwandans who fled in 1994 as children with their parents. They have been living in the forests of the North and the South Kivu provinces in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Upon arriving in Rwanda, some mentioned that what delayed them for up to 31 years was the absence of accurate information about Rwanda.
Some people kept telling us that things here in Rwanda are not easy. This made many of us even fear coming, thinking that upon arrival we shall be chased back.
Another reason they cited for their return is the poor living conditions they experienced in those forests.
We have been struggling to get what to eat and to provide for our families. Life has really been challenging, so we decided to return home.
For me, I kept hearing over the radio that all Rwandans are free to return to their country. I then decided to come. The returnees were immediately received by the Ministry of Emergency Management and were subsequently taken to be sheltered in Chijote camp, located in Nyabihu district, temporarily. The leader of Chijote camp, Ramazan Barengayabo, stated that the return of these Rwandans is not related to the ongoing conflict in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, as they had previously requested to return. Before the recent developments in Eastern Congo, these citizens had requested to return on the 27th of January. Since then, their return has been continuously interrupted by the fights until today, when they finally made it here. While sheltered temporarily in Chijoti camp, these returnees will undergo assessment to trace the whereabouts of their families, which will aid in reintegrating them into their normal life. William Evans, Mtawazi, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Evans. Now moving ahead, Senate President Dr. Kalinda François-Xavier emphasized that understanding gender equality is fundamental to building strong families, and he reiterated this message at the conclusion of a two-day training for members of parliament on gender equality and women's empowerment in the implementation of the NST2. We have more.
The training aimed to enhance parliamentarians' capacity to integrate gender equality into their work, foster collaboration among stakeholders in the National Strategy for Transformation, expand members of parliament's understanding of gender equality at national, regional and global levels, and strengthen their ability to analyze and incorporate gender perspectives into policy planning.
Among the values that align with patriotism is the principle of gender equality, which has been strongly promoted in the Rwandan culture for a long time.
Nadine Umutoni Gatsinzi, the Chief Gender Monitor at the Gender Monitoring Office, highlighted existing gaps in various gender programs. She cited the financial sector as an example, noting that only 10% of women have access to banking services. Additionally, women account for just 11.3% of recipients of agriculture and livestock loans, while men receive 87.7% of these loans. They often rely on savings groups more than banks. While some may be afraid of banks, it could also be because the money they have is not enough to meet the requirements for products or collaterals that the bank offers, which can be difficult to afford. At the conclusion of the training, Senate President Dr. Kalinda François-Xavier emphasized that embracing the principle of gender equality is essential for building strong and resilient families.
Understanding the principle of gender equality will help in building resilient families that are not characterized by gender-based violence. It will also address the existing gaps that were mentioned.
The training was organized by the Rwanda Women Parliamentary Forum in collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme.
To more news, over 1,000 youth in the Eastern Province have committed to upholding the legacy of courage demonstrated by those who stopped the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Their decision follows a renewed call from the Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement, urging them to draw inspiration from the history and contribute to the development of the country. The initiative to bring together young people from the Eastern Province aims to deepen their understanding of the history of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, where the Minister of National Unity and Civic Engagement, Dr. Jean Damascene Bizimana, emphasized the importance of educating young people about their history, given that the 2022 census indicates 65% of Rwanda's population is under 35, with young people comprising of 27.1%. He noted that young people represent the nation's strength, capable of building the country if guided early, but also posing a risk if not instilled with strong values from a young age. Young people highlights that the foundation for unity established by the country's leadership is now their responsibility to uphold this unity for the sake of the country's development. Minister Dr. Jean Damascene Bizimana expressed optimism about Rwanda's future, noting that the current youth's strong resolve to confront evil offers hope. Political analysts agree that educating the youth about the nation's history lays a solid and productive foundation, especially as young people are primarily taught to reject harmful ideologies and embrace values of unity and reconciliation. To other matters, the Southern Province Administration highlights the expansion of financial institutions aligns with the second national strategy for transformation by increasing access to financial services for Rwandans, creating a mutually beneficial impact for both citizens and the government. On Thursday, the I&M Bank inaugurated a new branch in Muhanga, marking its second branch in the Southern Province and the 20th nationwide. Among the local investors engaging with I&M is Mukarwema Yvette, a businesswoman based in Muhanga. She tells us more on the benefits of this bank.
You understand that having a business operating in Muhanga meant that whenever I needed to handle anything related to the bank, I had to travel to Kigali, despite having all my documents and business operations in Muhanga. It was difficult to seek every banking service in Kigali. This bank has two great advantages for businesses. First, some loan conditions are usually hard for us as traders to meet, but they facilitate easier and faster access to loans. Secondly, when you approach them for a business loan, they process it quickly, and their conditions are well balanced.
In collaboration with its partners, I&M Bank has expressed its commitment to serving citizens across all sectors, including the economy, education, construction, and transportation. Recognizing the challenges many face in securing collateral for loans, the bank has introduced collateral-free loan options. However, the CEO, Benjamin Mutimura, explains that I&M Bank also prioritizes financial education, equipping citizens with knowledge to effectively utilize these loans for profitable and sustainable projects.
The first challenge we identified was that small traders struggle to provide collateral for loans. To address this, we established a loan they can access with long-term repayment options without requiring collateral. Through this initiative, we have been able to provide them with 245 million Rwandan francs without collateral. The bank simply evaluates a well-planned project that is likely to yield benefits.
Vedaste Nshimiyimana, the Executive Secretary of the Southern Province, emphasized that the overall growth of financial institutions is instrumental in helping the government fulfill its commitments. He highlights that I&M Bank's presence in the Southern Province aligns with the objective of NST2, the second phase of the National Strategy for Transformation, by contributing to job creation.
This will be of a great help. This adds up to other existing institutions that provide funds and loans which are essential for implementing projects. This means there are people responsible for carrying out these projects. I would say that having another bank opening a branch here is a great opportunity, as it will bring experienced professionals who can help residents study and develop beneficial projects, improve them, and create employment opportunities, ultimately accelerating development.
To more news, to advance the mission of the Pan-African Movement, an organization dedicated to the unity and self-reliance of Africans, the Rwanda branch urges its members to intensify efforts in raising awareness and educating the public on this vision, which is essential for Africa's development. Take a look at the details.
The organization urged local leaders to take an active role in mobilizing citizens to foster patriotism, support African unity, and uphold values that contribute to the continent's development. We first told them about what is the Pan-African Movement, what is its intentions. As a member of the Pan-African Movement, what is the objective behind that? So it was really important to tell them about the Pan-African Movement, its objectives, and also tell them about the aim that we have of breaking free from colonialism as Africans, and particularly as Rwandans. We also told them about the rules and functioning of the Pan-African Movement here in Rwanda. Members of the Pan-African Movement believe that Rwandans should lead by example in demonstrating a deep love for Africa, serving as a catalyst to inspire other Africans to embrace true independence.
When residents understand these concepts from the roots, they realize that even in their farming activities, whether growing nuts, tomatoes, or potatoes, they can sell their products in other countries freely, without border limitations. They also understand that engaging in cross-border trade with other countries is easy.
The Pan-African movement, which advocates for the African unity and self-reliance, plans to sustain training programs for all its members.
Alo, waramutse shiri wanjye.
Utekereza ko guhora wiziganya n'umushu ari byo birenze? Natwe niko tubibona. Ubona nta cyakurutira kugaragaza impano yawe. Niko bimeze.
So guys, uyu munsi tugiye kuganira ku gaseke. Agaseke njye gafite byinshi. Kamari, ese wowe kakumariye iki? Manudi. Halo Manudi, niba icyo uri kunkura mu kazi? Hero mabusha, byahiye kandi noneho bimeze neza. Umva ukuntu biri no guhumura. Ako Manudi, urumva nakumva ko ibyo bihumura koko?
Ubona nta cyakurutira umwuga wawe. Erega, natwe niko tubibona. Dushyigikiye buri kimwe agaciro mu buzima bwawe na irekure nshya. Buri wese arahishiwe. Wikwisondeka. Kanda akanyenyeri 140 urwego. Uhitemo agaseke kawe ka packs zo guhamagara. Cyangwa akanyenyeri 345 urwego. Uhitemo bando za internet uryoherwe n'umuvuduko wa 4G.
You're still watching RTV News. Now to matters making headlines globally. U.S. President Donald Trump says he wants to make the United States the cryptocurrency capital of the world. He's putting his plan into place in the early weeks of his second presidential term. VOA has the details.
In his first weeks in office, President Donald Trump took steps to keep his campaign promises regarding cryptocurrency. He nominated a crypto czar and appointed regulators who are friendly to the industry. He issued his own crypto coin, and he signed a cryptocurrency executive order.
Yeah, this is the crypto EO. We're going to be forming an internal working group to make America the world capital in crypto under your leadership.
Trump was skeptical of cryptocurrency during his first term, but he appeared to change his mind during the 2024 presidential campaign. Cryptocurrency firms contributed heavily to Trump's presidential bid. Cryptocurrency proponents celebrated Trump's early moves as a break from what they saw as a hostile approach from President Joe Biden's administration.
The executive action and his comments along with it, I think were very much in line with what crypto proponents were looking for, with what they wanted. And I do think it's a good pivot.
Trump's executive order directs a working group to consider creating a national digital asset stockpile from cryptocurrencies seized by the federal government as part of law enforcement actions. The order also ensures crypto firms access to banking services. Crypto companies have complained that banks have denied them accounts. But some critics worry that breaking down firewalls between the banking industry and the crypto world comes with risks.
That has also been a major focus of the crypto industry, and I think is something we should be watching closely because of the risk of contagion from crypto markets, which are very volatile and prone to crashes.
The White House working group is expected to recommend regulations.
That would be really the value if we had clear regulation, but also regulation that's even-handed, that doesn't only support the digital currency entrepreneurs, but also, takes into mind the need to protect consumers and investors.
If crypto is going to define the future,
in the coming months, Trump is expected to put more pieces of his cryptocurrency plan in place. Michelle Quinn, VOA News.
Now to Turkey. In the ruins of the Turkey deadliest earthquake, a young pianist finds solace in her broken but beloved piano. Rescued from the rubble and repaired like a puzzle, it now stands as a symbol of her resilience as she dreams of a future filled with music. This earthquake rattled 11 Turkish provinces and parts of the northern Syria, killing more than 100,000 people and injuring more than 107,000 people. We have more with VOA.
Asla tarif edemeyeceğim şey, çünkü hissiyatı o kadar farklı ki günlük yaşadığımız bir şey değil asla. Çünkü ben şey olarak adlandırıyorum aslında enkazda olmayı. İnce bir ipin üstündeyiz. Düşmemek için tutunuyoruz. Bir tarafımız hayatta kalmak, bir tarafımız da ölüm. Aradım ve dedim ki baba, piyanoyu çıkarabildiniz mi dedim. O da çıkarabildiğimizi ve çalıştığını söyleyince o kadar böyle mutlu oldum ki, çünkü bir arkadaşım çıkmıştı benim için. Ayaklarını yerine getirdik, ayaklarını sabitledik, sıfırdan yapboz gibi, puzzle gibi birleştirdik ve şu an çok sabit durmasa da ayakta durabiliyor. Hedefim şu, kendi bestelerimi oluşturup müzikle devam etmek istiyorum. Yani çünkü mutlu olduğum şey bu, ileride mutlu olacağım şey de bu.
And this story brings us to the end of tonight's bulletin, but before we leave, a reminder of the top stories that made the edition. The bodies of 14 South African soldiers killed in the Eastern DRC were repatriated through Rwanda on Friday. 116 Rwandans who had been living in the forests of the Eastern DRC have returned to their homeland. On the international scene, US President Donald Trump says he wants to make the United States the cryptocurrency capital of the world. Now that marks the end of tonight's bulletin. On behalf of the entire news team, thank you for being with us. Have a restful weekend.